Social media networks are one of the most used communication methods used in today's world. Many students at Makerere University have shared their views on how social media has helped them in their academics as well as outside classroom.
And that, for example, with WhatsApp, if I have a lecturer and we connect very well, he or she is my friend, we can talk at each and every time that we want. I can inbox them and ask them, and I consult anything that I want at any time. So you find that we communicate so oftenly with social media. Social media helps us to communicate so often with our different lecturers at different times. It has helped us in research. You can be asked any question and you can research about it, or anything you can research about it on social media. You can know. Yeah,
100%. Social media has helped a lot, especially me who is doing mass communication, journalism in particular. It has been through that social media like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and many others, including mails that we've been in position to share ideas, sharing work both in class and out of class. Lecturers really give us advice that we must have for us to share our content. For me, I've always used social media, especially like Instagram. I've used it to market up my projects, my personal projects. Besides classwork, I use it to market up my personal projects. Then at the same time, I use it in class, as in I share work with my lecturer. So my lecturer, himself, he has been so encouraging that social media is the only way to go today. We have to adopt that idea of social media for us to have clear work done and for us to reach the audiences around. We've always used social media. We've been using the same platform to do coursework. Instagram, we've been using Facebook, we've been using mails in particular. Mail has been the key thing, but Instagram came in, WordPress came in, Facebook was in, Twitter as well. Yeah. In fact, for Twitter, I remember the lecturer had to bring us someone to lecture us more about how we can use it perfectly. And we've been using it. The latest, a joint one that brought all of us together was during the annual media convention that was used this year. It was through that media platform that we gathered a number of audiences to come for the workshop.
Makerere lecturers at the Department of Journalism and Communication use social media when the Twitter wants to pass on communication to the students.
Teaching, I know there are social media groups that have been formed for various classes, and these are especially used when tutors want to pass on information, especially on assignments or when they will not be around, or when they have put some information somewhere, or when people are seeking clarification. That's the extent we've used it for teaching, as far as I know.
Mr. Kakoza, a lecturer at the Department of Journalism and Communication, also highlights that in 2013, the department used to put notes as well as questions.
But that was long ago. I think around 2013, we used to have wiki spaces where I would put class notes as well as questions. And students were tasked to sign up, and actually they would also submit their coursework on that platform.
Okay.
Yeah, but in regards to using digital platforms generally to teach, the university has a digital platform called Moele, like a university e-learning platform. That is what is encouraged around the university for tutors to use to teach. So in that aspect, I know that students that are doing MA, that are on our master's program, have been interfacing with it under their course unit called Computer Assisted Reporting and Research.
Another a lecturer at Makerere University Department of Journalism and Communication, has highlighted that people communicate much more easier at a social level than formal level.
Social media is basically that type of channel where people are communicating in an interactive, shared way compared to traditional media. Like you don't read New Vision because you like them. But on Facebook, the people you communicate with, people from whom you read, are people who are your friends or those that you follow. The same with Twitter. So for us in the academia, some of us are in the middle between academia and practice. What we encourage is that from what we are learning today, all media should actually be social. Because it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt, if you look in the growth of Facebook, of Twitter, of even the traditional MySpace, that there is more communication going off there within than in traditional media. People communicate much quicker at a social level than at an official level.
He has also encouraged students to engage in constructive discussions, sharing tips, and finding markets in the social world.
As teachers, many students are on social media during class time. They're not concentrating. We also notice that the social media brings this blitz of communication that is not realistic in the normal world of work. Like people are so focused on rumors and who is dressing what, which video, who has released the nude picture, and we find that for us as academia, we wouldn't encourage people spending so much time on such discussions because in the end they don't amount to anything. Nobody is going to pay you money to give you a job because you can talk or discuss well such matters. So we find that most of what people are doing on social media, the majority, especially students, is focused on those non-paying, non-productive kinds of topics. We wish that they were able to be active there, spend as much time, but engaging on more constructive discussions, finding ways to improve their own lives, producing things and sharing tips, and finding market.
He also suggested a strategy that the Department of Journalism and Communication should adopt to use social media in their academic teachings.
Like I said, if we understood social media well, we would know that almost every media should be social. Because we know from communication theory, if we look at two-way communication, sending and receiving of messages, social media has more capacity to create that feedback than traditional media. But we also know from the two-step flow of information that people learn more from the first people learn, they inform others, others also learn. So if you want to pass a message across and you want it to be effective, social media would be a very good opportunity to reach as many people. Because when I learn, the message goes to my networks, that my network, each of my network members learn, they also send to others, and the message goes much wider. So one, it would be very, very good if we could make our own channels social. Starting with Makerere University websites, starting with our platforms for teaching, it would be very, very good if they were built for people to open accounts and share and network, so that as people are learning, they're also able to share and interact in that form. At another level, there is using the openly available social media networks. I believe lecturers can utilize student groups. I'm sure they're already there. Classes form groups, so you can send there the notes instead of coming to class to deliver notes. Some discussions can be done there if you're informing people where to submit work. People don't have to drive or ride or border to work, to school to find out some of these things. You can easily ease communication with learners, but also sourcing new things from learners. You can encourage learners to source for information that they share within their groups, that you also get review and can include them in your discussions as well as assignments. At an extended level, if they are well-managed groups, especially on a platform like the university website, we could use these very ones to teach people, to give content, to grade them, to form smaller groups where people are discussing and handling particular tasks that we give them, and to produce academic assignments.
Nakungu Haja, Campus FM.